What is up, DTube, Steem blockchain? Another day in the North Korea of blockchains. So, what a day. So, I saw this first, I saw a tweet from Lord Butterfly on Twitter, and I went in, and so it was talking a little bit about the centralized exchanges, the Bitcoin centralized exchanges in crypto. They basically took over all the Steem witness positions by using their users' Steem funds. So they used their own. They didn't even use they used someone else's funds to basically corrupt the Steem top witnesses and just vote in their own witnesses. And it's like, whoa, this is really unbelievable. Like, you knew kind of like how centralized exchanges are like super corrupt and they're only in it for the money. But I did not think they would be this corrupt. Like, this is some next level corruptness. So much going on. So basically, Binance and Huobi and Poloniex, they did this together. I don't think Bittrex was a part of this, and it's just Binance really just stabbed Steemians in the back here, and it really like shows the true colors of centralized exchanges. Like, they are not in it for decentralized at all. They're only in it to get rich. And this is something that I talked a little bit about with, if you look at how much money these margin trading platforms are doing, like Bitcoin is only used for margin trading. Like BitMEX makes like 72 Bitcoin per day in a down market. So it's like, it's only them that are getting rich from it. And probably all these other centralized exchanges like Huobi and Binance and Coinbase add in like 70 BTC per day on them, and add in all the Bitcoin miners that makes 1,800 BTC per day. You can see that this adds up to like maybe like 2,500 BTC per day, that only these centralized entities are like getting all the earnings, right? So it's like they own basically US, now they own Steem, and they also own Bitcoin, you know? So it's like, wow, like the length they're going to basically do whatever it is they want to do is like, it really like shows the dark side of it. Like, they don't care at all. Like, they don't care about the Steemians. They only care about getting rich, right? They like no standards. And Steemit Inc., they wrote a new blog post where they were basically lying in people's faces. So they said that Tron has 15 million users, but it's like a straight up lie. Like, we know it's just scams on Tron. So they're basically lying in people's faces, Steemit Inc. And it's like, how can they have that on their conscience? Like, don't they have any sense of like right and wrong and like personal integrity? Like, it's unbelievable. And same with these centralized exchanges. Don't they have any conscience of right and wrong? No, they don't. Like, they're just gonna steal their users' funds and basically drain the value from Steem. So the Ninja Mine Steem stake that was supposed to go to content creators and support the Steem ecosystem, now they basically cashed out 4 million Steem to Binance. And they're also changing, I think, the power down. So they may even power down 48 million Steem in a very, very short time frame, like 3 days, and just steal it all from the Steem community. And what that's basically going to do is they are basically, potentially they're going to remove earnings from thousands of Steemians that are like earning daily. and they're just gonna ruin they're just gonna ruin their earnings, and they're just gonna steal from the Steam community just because of greed and like power trips, especially with DPoS. Now when DPoS is still very, very early, but you see these power trips, like people go on, like they think they can like, you know, do whatever they want, right? And it's like, wow. It's so like it's so anti decentralized, and you see the true colors. Like we can see everything now. Like we can see who's corrupt, we can see who is doing their best, who's hardworking. We can see who has a conscience of right and wrong and like try to do the best thing. We can see who has integrity. We can see who is like trying to sell out and like ruin stuff. So this act by Ned, it's almost like it can potentially ruin earnings of thousands of Steemians, because this stake was basically, they had an agreement that this Ninja Mind Steem stake, it was supposed to go to the creators and the ecosystem, but now it seems like it's just going to be dumped and cashed out. So it's like, wow. And I really thought, maybe for a long time, maybe I was naive, that Steemit Inc. seemed like they kind of had improved a little bit. But now we see their true colors. And yeah, all the lying, like 15 million that they're writing, that Tron has 15 million users. Like, why are they lying? Like, seriously, like how can they have that on their conscience, like on their karma? Like, it's unbelievable, like what they're doing to themselves. Like, it's just unreal. Because it's like, you know, they know they're lying, and they're lying to people's faces. Like, they know they're not doing something that's good for the ecosystem, and they're straight up lying. And it's like, whoa, they're really doing this. You know. So, yeah, Steem is basically, yeah, it is North Korea of blockchains. It's this ecosystem where you see a bunch of crazy stuff goes down every couple of months. And it really influenced, like, what many people don't understand is it kind of influenced people's lives. Like, you can't do things like this now when people are like earning daily and you're like playing with their earnings. Like, that's wrong. Like, it's just straight up wrong. And let's talk a little bit about this. So, okay, so some deal was made. So this Steem stake got sold by Ned to Justin. And the way I'm looking at that is, I think that Ned knew he was doing something that's wrong. Like, he must have known that you're not supposed to do that. Like, you're not supposed to just go and pocket and cash out and run away, and basically potentially ruin the whole Steem ecosystem. Because clearly he knew that would be the end result. He knew, like, anyone knows, like, that Tron has nothing interesting going on. So it's like, the way I'm looking at that is that Ned basically screwed over Justin, and from how I'm looking at it, of course, Justin then gets upset, gets his friends at centralized exchanges, and is trying to get what Ned sold him. So you run into this, like everything goes back to the problems of the Ninja Mind stake. And now you're really getting into this real wonky situation where, just because you did not do it the right way in 2016, you have that, like, how a chain is started, like who is getting the tokens in the beginning. Like, it's very hard to change that later on, right? And then we get these like huge drama events where it just seems like people like it seems like people just want more power, right? It seems like when people have enough money, it doesn't really, it's not that much more exciting to get more money, but it's more exciting to try to gain power or influence over a community. And I guess in many ways I sort of understand that in a way, but you know, like yeah, I think it's sad in many ways. Like if you buy something, you probably really want it. And I think that in theory that many people are trying to like do their best, perhaps that people that in the long term people probably in theory want to do better things. And because I understand like Steam community, it can be hard to get into, like if you want to have a role in the Steam community, like you have to work a lot. That's kind of like how we're seeing it. Like you have to prove to yourself that you really are in it to improve the ecosystem. So yeah, like wow, Steemit Inc. lying, Binance stabbing Steemians in the back. Yeah, like I'm looking at where technology is going, like in the next 5 to 10 years, and it seems like people are gonna have so good technology eventually, so they're just gonna start their own ecosystem, start their own chain. If they need a token, they're just gonna make some token. Because I mean, we already have phones now. Galaxy S20 Ultra, the 5G variant comes with 16 gigabytes of RAM. It's like phones are getting so good that eventually I think combined with AI in the future, I think we can have like way less drama and people more playing in their sort of communities and niches. Because when kind of like when crypto is kind of young, you have all these politics, like all this drama. And yeah, I really hope that it can evolve beyond that eventually. And I think it can happen, you know. But yeah, it's fascinating now when like we can see people lying, we can see people taking other people's funds, and you know, it's just crazy. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen with Steem blockchain, because the community doesn't seem to. They seem kind of pissed. Like I'm also kind of pissed, especially when you have invested like 2 or 3 years into this ecosystem. It's like, and then you see some people that just want to almost like try to ruin it. It's like wow, and like Steemit Inc. Like what are you doing lying? Like why are you lying in people's faces? Like do you want to have that on your conscience? Do you want to have that on your karma? It's like it's just bad. Uh, and it's like they're also making it worse. So it's very mafia style. So all these witnesses that got voted in by Binance, Wobby, and Poloniex, the Steemit Inc. post were basically talking about, oh, we're gonna give more rewards to the witnesses. So it's like very mafia style. That Binance and Huobi and Poloniex, they're gonna get their mafia pay basically for their acts that they did. And I mean, I wonder what this is gonna do with the reputation of Binance. Uh, you know, it's just bad. Like it's just horrible. Uh, yeah, like the reputation should be kind of ruined forever because people can always like go back and see, oh, Binance did that thing. Like they actually stabbed the main decentralized Steem community in the back, and all the witnesses, like all the witnesses that the Steem community has voted in to the top 20 witnesses, they just stabbed them in the back, but like removed them, and it's just hardcore mafia style. Like this is hardcore like gangster mafia style. And we basically see here extremely clear that centralized exchanges, they don't care about their users, they only care about getting rich, they only care about trying to screw over their customers more. And now they're not just screwing over their customers, they're screwing up the only true decentralized community in the whole ecosystem that's been here since 2016, the Steem community. like, wow, like they're really going for it. So it's like in a few years, I don't think we're gonna have these silly nonsense. I don't think we're gonna have centralized exchanges because we're just gonna have so good technology that we can just use smart contracts and like fully decentralized systems. But it's a bumpy road. It's a very, very bumpy road. And I kind of knew it when I came into the Steam ecosystem. And this thing, in many ways, also shows to me that like the power of Steam, like just a few, because it's like Steam has a few thousand users, but it doesn't have so much more than that. And that just a few thousand users can like make so big like these massive exchanges starting to do all these things. It's like, whoa, imagine when these decentralized ecosystems has millions of people cross-checking information and like seeing, yeah, is this right? No, that's kind of weird. So it's going to be interesting to sort of see how that evolves. But yeah, this day kind of proves to me that Steam is a big deal. It's a very big deal, and it seems like I think eventually truth is gonna come out more and more about all the corruption and like all the mafia activity these centralized exchanges are doing, and you know the default systems are very much Game of Thrones of crypto. But in a way, with all the drama that happens, it makes people in many ways also stay alert. Something that doesn't happen with Bitcoin that much because people just, you know, people are falling asleep faster with Bitcoin systems because, you know, you're just sitting there and waiting for someone else to pump your value. But then, like, the centralized mining mafia is taking over. They're earning basically everything. You're not even getting a little bit of interest. So it's like, even though DPoS is a bit crazy, we can like see things much more up close, like what is going on, who is corrupt. Like now we know that Steem is corrupt, we know Binance is corrupt, Huobi is corrupt, Poloniex is corrupt, and I mean we see all these exchanges also getting hacked left and right, and it's just horrible. Like it's just horrible. Yeah. So that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. Have a great day, DTube and the Steem blockchain. Bye bye.